Well, good morning, YouTube. This is Chuck, and it's Wednesday, September 18th, 2024, about 11 o'clock in the morning, and I'm going to bring you a windshield tour this morning. And windshield tour of Bisbee, Arizona, down the old part of town. And when you approach Bisbee on US 80, coming from the south, the first thing that you'll come upon is what I'm going to show you right now. So let's see if we can get started. This is what's known as the Mule Pass Tunnel. That's the first thing that tells you that you're coming into Bisbee. Built in 1958. There are not a whole lot of tunnels. It's kind of bumpy, as you can tell. I can't hold the camera steady. Maybe it'll compensate for part of that. But there aren't too many highway tunnels in Arizona. There's a few. And the road that we're on, actually, up here there's an intersection, and we're going to make a turn. But initially it was designed to bypass the town. And you used to have to drive right down through the middle of it, the highway did. And then they built a bypass up on the hill to the, actually be to the west of town itself. So here you go, we're coming into Bisbee. Elevation 5,300 feet, founded in 1880. This is our turn right here. Oh, we gotta go the other way. Yeah, we gotta go the other way. You can tell I don't live here. Yeah, we turn this way and we go on a real sharp little angle thing here. Go back around under the road. This is the old road through town here. It's called Tombstone Canyon. There's where the old highway used to come in. This is pretty unique. It's say old Bisbee's down in the bottom of a canyon. New Bisbee's made up of several different, what used to be separate communities back when everybody walked everywhere, before everybody had cars. And these little communities were a couple miles apart. And so the Bisbee corporate limits actually covers a pretty large area. There's a little bit of windshield glare here. I hope it's not too bad. This is you can imagine all the traffic used to have to come down through here. Nice little park over here. A lot of the streets here are real steep and real narrow. If you notice a gully right alongside of us there, that's Tombstone Canyon, and when it rains real hard, that flows a lot of water. Not a lot of parking for people here. There's a lot of on-street parking. Everything's pretty tight. This building right in front of us here is the fire station. It's usually called Fire Station 2. It dates clear back to 1914, and it's reportedly the oldest fire station in Arizona that has been continually in service. Been in service for 110 years, and I want to bring you a visit to that if I can get a chance to a little bit later. I'll do that in a different video. The bypass is up on the hill up there. You can kind of see it a little bit. But this is pretty unique, along with a lot of other little communities, mining communities in Arizona, because this is the old part of Bisbee here is built up in the canyon, and it's right actually, the mine's right actually kind of at the mouth of the canyon. So a lot of the newer communities, the other communities, are actually built on the out on the flats after the canyon opens up. And there's a section on the west side of town they refer to as New Bisbee. and that's where a lot of the newer stuff is. But it doesn't have anywhere near the unique character that this place does. You notice how close the houses are to the street, and that was because when a lot of these houses were built, they use a lot of one-way streets here too, if you notice. When a lot of these houses were originally built, people didn't have cars, and so they walked everywhere, so they didn't necessarily need wide streets, and they didn't need places to park and all this kind of thing. And I know a lot of you like the windshield tours. Look at that old Studebaker. A lot of you like the old windshield tours, and I kind of enjoy bringing them to you, and I enjoyed learning a little bit about the communities as well. Look how tiny that little place is. There's another one-way street going the other way. But the old downtown area of Bisbee is it dates back, I believe Bisbee was settled, if I remember correctly, in 1880, which, you know, the town I live in Payson, was officially settled, got its post office anyway, in 1884. But this place, because of the mining, it grew up a lot faster with a lot more stuff. Exploring Bisbee, e-bike rentals and guided tours. I'll bet e-bikes are popular here because it's hilly enough that you got to be in pretty good shape to be able to pedal a bicycle. Look at that place, the Inn at Castle Rock. Wouldn't that be a cool place to stay? A lot of people drive real small cars here because the roads are real narrow. Jeeps are popular. Now we're coming more into the downtown area. This is kind of the area they always show you whenever you see something about Bisbee. They show you this downtown area. They had a pretty significant fire here a few months ago, so I actually haven't driven down this since we've been here on this trip, so I'll have to show you where this is downtown Bisbee. Yeah, here's where they had the fire. You can see they still got the sidewalk closed off. They burned 2 businesses out and managed to corral it. You can imagine how tough it would be to try to fight a fire in this, especially a small community. The firefighting resources are real limited. Bisbee Coffee Company. This is the main part of downtown Bisbee. And we're going to go up this direction through here. Takes you under the bypass again. You saw my last video about the RV park where we're staying at. To get up to that, you turn right there. You see the little blue sign with the trailer on it? That's where we're staying at. And so we're going to go down past the open pit. This road here is bumpier than heck. Now we're back on the main drag again. Not much traffic this morning. Everything revolved around mining back in the day, and the mining companies pretty much did whatever they wanted to. This is the piece of road you could actually see from my last video. See from the house. We're approaching the overlook to the main part of the open pit mine. I'm going to pull in there and give you a quick look. It's a little windy, so when I get out of the truck, we'll probably have some wind noise. So let me see if I can show you that as part of all this. I'm going to pull in here behind this car. Okay, let me shut it off for a second here, and I'll take you and show you this big hole in the ground, because it's a big one. See water in the bottom of it. That's 900 foot down there from the top. You can see where the road used to go down to the bottom of it, where they hauled the stuff out of there. That's the mill over on the other side. I showed you that in my last video. But, I know we got some wind noise here, so let's kind of go over here. Looks like we got some other people doing some filming here too. Hi. You got a YouTube channel by chance?
No, we just have an Instagram page.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
What's your YouTube channel?
I'll give you a card here in a second.
Alrighty.
Okay, it's a monument to the people that died, veterans fighting the wars that came from Bisbee. So, this young lady over here has got an Instagram page.
Hi,
What's your name?
Priceless Expeditions.
Priceless Expeditions on Instagram. Okay. I'm going to shut down for a minute. I'm going to talk to her, and I'm going to give her a card so she can go look at my YouTube page. All right, so I'll be back with you here in a minute. Oh, that's an ambulance. Okay, guys, I heard a siren, so you know right well I have to pay attention. Bisbee Fire Department runs the ambulance service here, so this is a Bisbee Fire Department ambo headed to a call back up in Old Town. If I live to be 100, I'll still stop and watch every time the siren goes by. Okay, back to you again in a minute. Well, I had a very nice visit with those folks, and they run an Instagram account, and they're talking about a YouTube channel. So we talked for a little bit about what it takes to get a YouTube channel started and how easy it is to do it off your phone like I do. And anyway, very nice visit with them, very nice people. They live in Tucson. So let's get back on the road again and then show you some more stuff. That entrance in and out of there could use a little bit of grater love or something there to take the bumps out of it. Anyway, it's a big old hole in the ground, and I should have done a little more research before I talked to you today about how many millions of dollars of copper they took out of this place while it was still an active mining operation, and I'm sure it was a bunch. There's a kind of the central point around down here is a big roundabout, and we're going to go down that far, and we're going to talk about a couple of things that you can access off the roundabout. But first, before we do that, there used to be another little community here called Lowell. And a lot of the housing area from Lowell was actually located right over there. And when the mining company who owned the mineral rights, I think I mentioned this in the last video, but the mining company owned the mineral rights, and they, when they discovered copper underneath that residential area, they essentially tore the whole community down and put that big hole in the ground. And the only part of Lowell that's actually left is this little commercial stretch right in here. So this is kind of a really unique little area. There's a little business here is called the Bisbee Breakfast Club, and it's supposed to be really, really good breakfast, and we're going to come down here and eat before we leave. But look at this little quirky little stretch of commercial buildings here. I should have probably run this the other direction because I don't know that the light's real good this direction, but the old cars are here, and look at that old Greyhound bus. It's called a Strayhound. And over here's the Lowell Police Department. Look at that biker patrol. Look at that nice 56 Ford pickup. That's great. Anyway, we're here. This is I gotta be careful, make sure I don't get run over here. I don't want to get to talking to people. But we can go all the way around the roundabout, but they also got this little cutoff right here. We're going to take that. I'm going to show you a couple of other things while I'm right down here. You can't learn about all the little stuff on the back streets if you just drive through a town. But another thing that Bisbee's famous for is the Shady Dell right here. And the Shady Dell is like a quirky little motel thing where all these things that are old trailers and stuff where you can stay. And they got the old diner here. And maybe if I get a chance, I'll stop and see if they'll let me just walk around and do a separate video. And here's, of course, is the cemetery. And the cemetery will tell you an awful lot about a community. You can see there's been a whole lot of people spent their lives here, and they're still here. This is one of the schools here on the other side. I'm going to come down here and turn around a little bit. But there's another section of the cemetery. It's a pretty sizable operation, if you notice, and one of the old head rigs from one of the old mine shafts is back there in the background. Get over here and get turned around. A lot of the miners here over the years were Hispanics, and so there's a huge Hispanic contingent here. There we go. This time I'll show you the school on the other side. The old red brick buildings. Man, there was a lot of places that had these old red brick buildings back in the day, and most of them have all been replaced by stuff. And I'm thinking about trying to shoot something I'm going to call the 5 things you need to see while you're in Bisbee, and this Shady Dell is going to be one of them. So I'll probably try to come over here and see if they'll let me do just a walk around and show you, give you a better look at what they've got in here. But right now we're back to the highway again. So let's see if we can get across here without getting run over. There we go. This is kind of a convoluted kind of intersection here. That's the Bisbee Police Department right up there on the hill. I'm going to follow. This is the big roundabout, and we're going to go back off down this direction a little bit. There's another little community over here called Warren, and we're going to drive down there to that. That's the railroad. Of course, they took everything out of here by train, so they don't run. I don't think they run any trains up here anymore, but a lot of the old infrastructure is still here. Another head rig from another shaft that went down. This little community here is Warren. Look at the little tiny houses. We had tiny houses before we knew what tiny houses were. Not a real affluent area, so you can tell by looking at the houses and guys here in orange jumpsuits, I think they're probably a prison crew. Yeah, ADOC, Arizona Department of Corrections. Prison crew working cleaning up the streets. There's a few businesses here in Warren. I'd never actually even been down here before. I knew this was here, but I had never driven down here to take a look around. This is the part of the hospital complex. And here's this is the Copper Queen Community Hospital. That's the local hospital. We watch the helicopters come and go from there. They fly right over top of us. Really, kind of a unique little neighborhood. Like I say, I've never been down here before. And so you're seeing it along with me for the first time. Warren Ballpark. Another pretty nice community park there. Okay, this is the other main drag that comes through here, called Arizona Street. Right in here somewhere there's a restaurant I was looking for. Little Caesar's Pizza. An old church over there. Isn't that something? Well, this is the downtown area of Warren. I'll have to go back and bring the wife down here because like I said, I hadn't seen this before. The place you look down here, there's those huge tailing piles like that one up there in the upper left. Morning's Cafe. Another little, like it used to be a church. Beatty and toward Douglas. We're going to go down there and drive around this. Here again, look at that size of that tailing pile. That thing is just huge. And the highway back into town is right to the bottom of this hill. So we're going to run down there and then we'll head back over there to the... I didn't exactly have this all planned, as you can probably tell. We'll... This is quite a, like I said, it's quite a spread out area. All this originally were separate little towns, and the corporate limits of Bisbee, I don't know how many square miles it is, but it encompasses all these things that were former towns. But look at the size of this tailing pile again. We're still driving alongside of it. This is where all the dirt from that open pit mine was put. When they excavated out there and took all the copper ore out of it, and there's a evaporation pond over here, and I'm always just intrigued by this stuff. And you got this big old hole in the ground that you can see from space, and I'm not a huge fan of that, but it is part of our history, and there's a whole lot of people lived and died by those mines. And even now, mining is a huge thing in huge thing in Arizona. The copper mines, you hear them talk about the 5 C's, and it's climate and citrus and cattle and copper and what's the other one? Something else. Anyway, we're coming back up to Highway 92, and we're going to make a left turn here, and it'll take us right back, kind of back into where we started at, and I'll probably end the video there. I've run this one a little bit longer than I originally planned. A lot of you people like the windshield tours, so I try to bring them to you. There's the other side of that big pile of dirt. The sheriff's office and the courts are up that little place there. The county buildings, this is the county seat of Cochise County. And it's certainly not the largest town in Cochise County. The largest town in Cochise County by far is Sierra Vista. But this is the older town, so this is how it grew up. Try to shut the window here so I can get rid of the wind noise a little bit. There, that's a little better. But the seat of government here is in Bisbee. So, you know, Bisbee's about 5,300 feet, and they say there's 7,000 or 8,000 people here. But it's quite an interesting place. It's you know, it's really high on the quirkiness, and I kind of like that stuff. So, I think I'm going to wrap this one up now. And as I always tell you, take care of each other, love each other. I'll give you one more look at how they tore it out in the mountain and put this big old pile of dirt here as we're coming back into the area where there's houses here in town again. Just a unique place in Arizona. And I'll let this run we're almost back up to the roundabout. And I'll let this run back to the roundabout, and then I'll go ahead and close it. I have no idea how long it's going to take me to upload this. It ran a lot longer than I thought it was going to. There we come. Here right in the center of the picture, that hill right there, that's on the right hand side of the big open pit mine, and the RV park we're staying at is just on the back side of that. So here we're back at the roundabout again. We're going to go back the other way, so let me shut this off. Until I talk to you again, let me just tell you, peace out.